Hello everyone and welcome to another video review by Snippy Geek. Today we'll be reviewing a television series by the name of Swamp Thing. I'll be talking about kind of the series so far since I'm at the halfway point, and I'll be talking about mainly about episode 5. And so the plot synopsis for this show, according to IMDb, reads, Abby Arcane returns home to Marias, Louisiana to investigate a deadly swamp-borne virus, only to discover the dark, terrifying mysteries of the swamp. And episode 5 specifically is called Drive All Night, and it says, while Abby tries to find a cure for Alex, she's haunted by her childhood friend's ghost who reemerges from the swamp, and Alex struggles to come to terms with his transformation with the help of a mysterious phantom stranger. Just a kind of a little bit of info or information about the show if you didn't know. It was originally a DC show that aired on the DC streaming service. It got really good reviews critically, and audiences seemed to love it, but for whatever reason it got canceled in 2019, and then 2020 CW is re-airing the show. I don't think they picked it up or anything like that, but they are re-airing it, and in my opinion I think that the Swamp Thing fits in greatly with the CW television programming. I think it has just the right amount of drama and horror and suspense and thrills, and it really just fits in perfectly with that CW television programming, especially the inklings of romance it has. It just seems to kind of fit in with that young adult genre that, in my opinion, the CW channel is notorious for doing this sort of thing. But what did I think about the show so far? I think it's a pretty solid show, I will say. I watched the trailer last year. I believe it was sometime last year before the show came on DC. And I thought to myself, this is going to be a really cool sort of horror science fiction show. And now that I'm about halfway into the series, I have to say, it's more of a drama. It has your inklings of horror and your inklings of suspense and science fiction and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's a drama that just has these sort of horror elements to the show. Not a bad thing, but I will say I was expecting a little bit more science fiction and stuff like that. But overall, still a real solid show that I would definitely recommend to anyone. Like I said earlier, it's gotten received very well, a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 92%, and the consensus reads, by leaning into the horror of it all, Swamp Thing swims deep into the trenches of this strange world and returns with a scary good TV show. Derek Mears actually plays the Swamp Thing in this television series on CW or DC, and he's known for being in several of these sort of practical effects or CGI where he plays a lot of creatures, stuff like, he played Jason Voorhees about a decade ago in the Friday the 13th reboot or remake. And anyways, he's been in several of these, and he's always real good in these sort of roles. Got that nice, deep voice and looks good in the suit, nice and big and broad shoulders. And anyway, so he always does good in these roles. And this also has Crystal Reed, who plays the role of Abby Arcane, and she plays sort of the doctor for this young adult doctor for the CDC, and she has an old friend that died years ago that she was involved in. I don't want to spoil too much more, but anyways, overall it's a very solid show. It's got some great practical effects with the Swamp Thing. There's some really cool things that it does in the water, and you're trying to find out sort of the mystery of it all. There's more than just the Swamp Thing. This town's kind of connected. You got a certain character in this town who can't seem to get out. He has sort of a connection to it, and that guy's actually played by the guy from Sharknado, the main actor from Sharknado. But overall, a very solid show, I'd say. It's odd. Once again, it's weird to say it's odd that it got canceled because it was received so well by both critics and audiences alike. And I will say it would be very interesting if the CW did happen to pick up this show for season 2 or in the near future, maybe sometime late this year, early next year, because as I said earlier, it would definitely fit in with CW's regular television programming because it has that real young adult, in my opinion, it doesn't really have a hard R vibe to it that I was expecting, but it has that sort of young adult vibe that I think really fits in on this network. But either way, I really am enjoying the show so far, and if I had to give the show kind of a rating system, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5 so far. If you're comparing it to the old show back from, I believe, the early 90s and the mid 90s and stuff like that, don't go into expecting anything like the old show. The old show, was these episodes, these newer ones, like about 45 minutes or so. The old one was only about 30 minutes, and that one was more of each episode had kind of and if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Each episode had kind of a moral or a sentimental feeling kind of thing towards the end. This new series kind of strips and takes all that away and spins and turns everything on its head and gives you something brand new that you really haven't ever seen before. So it's a lot different than that old show, and you really can't compare the two. I have to be honest though, if I was to pick something, which one I liked more, I would probably definitely have to go with the older show. The older show that just had more of a, I guess you could say at the end of the day, more of a classic vibe to it than this new one has. But this new one gives, like I said earlier, it gives us something new that we just haven't seen before. Overall, a very solid show, and I'll probably like it more as time goes on. Once again, thanks for watching another video review by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching.